Hello everyone, Pally Time here. Welcome back to Free Time. We are back at Diablo 3 today. We are Paragon level 44, so not too much time has passed since the last video, but I want to show you the progress that our character here, our wizard, has made in that small amount of time. So if we go ahead and take a look at his gear, we do have the furnace that we had last time, and we also had the Telrash's chest piece last time. Like right after I finished recording, we got the Telrash's helmet as well. So we have unlocked the 2-set bonus that we were going for. Still going for the 6-piece, but you know, you got to start somewhere. And damaging enemies with arcane, cold, fire, or lightning will cause the meteor of the same damage type to fall from the sky. And there's an 8-second cooldown for each damage type. So again, I know I explained this last video, but if we hit someone with lightning, a lightning meteor falls. Cold, a cold meteor falls. Fire and arcane, the same thing happens. And each element is on an 8-second cycle. So basically, by the time we get all of our elements out, it's time to do it again. And it pumps out a ton of damage. I believe one of the things that amplifies the damage a lot are these Nilfer's Boasts. They are boots that I found. Increases the damage of meteor by 100%. When your meteor hits 3 or less enemies, the damage is increased by 200%. And that scales up to... Oh, I got max roll on that, actually. Fantastic. So, basically, that increases our AoE damage, but also significantly increases our single target damage. And... one of the interesting things, I don't know how long I'm going to use this particular ring, but I found this, what is it, Convention of Elements? You gain 177 increased damage to a single element for 4 seconds, and it's going to rotate through all of the elements. So if you take a look down here just above my hotbar, you can see this thing is switched to cold, and I also have an animation around my character for it, and now it's fire, and then it'll go to arcane and lightning. So what this means is I can actually get some significant damage boosts if I use my spells accordingly. So there's frost, here's fire, so if I were to drop this guy right now, he's going to be hitting... his fire stuff is going to be hitting for 177% more damage, which is a lot. That is a lot. Kind of cool. I don't know how useful it's going to be in the long run, but it's definitely aiding in our endeavors right now. I have managed to equip 3 of my greater gems. We have Simplicity's Strength, increases the damage of our primary skills by 25%. Our primary skill is this Arcane Lightning. Remember, I want to be a melee wizard. We also have Bane of the Trapped, increases damage against enemies under the effects of cold impairing stuff by 16% basically. So whenever we freeze someone, we're then going to hit them for 16% more damage, and that'll scale up as well. And then we're using Pain Enhancer. Critical hits cause the enemy to bleed for 1200% weapon damage as a physical for 3 seconds. So kind of a way to deal a lot of area of effect damage, and we're going to be upgrading this at 25. It's going to be a lot better because it's going to increase our attack speed by 3% for each bleeding enemy within 20 yards. So that could be really, really well, or really, really good. We are on Torment 3, and we're only Paragon 44. I'm thinking I can solo Rift by myself. This is my first time trying to solo this. I did do a Torment 3 with Girlfriend Time last night. Just to test the waters a little bit, and I think we're going to be just fine. So, we need to put up our magic weapon, we need to put up our frost armor, and then this should be pretty straightforward. As you can see, I'm coming in here, these meteors are dropping, doing 30 million damage there. When I can sync up a meteor with the buff from the ring, which, let me be totally clear, I'm not intentionally trying to do, I've had over 100 million hits already, and I mean, we're just starting out. This is a brand new character, basically. So again, the main strategy for this particular build, we're dealing a lot of damage in melee range. We have Arcane Dynamo stacking buffs down at the bottom of the screen. You can see it stacking here. Now that we have 5 stacks, the next Arcane Power Spender, is going to deal more damage. So what I'm doing is I'm saving it for this Hydra here, and you can just see how much damage this Hydra is dealing. And remember, this damage doesn't get reflected back at us. And the Hydra himself, is also proccing the fire meteors. So in situations where it's a little bit too hairy and it looks like my character might die, what I do is I just stack up 5 of this, and I let the Hydra go, and he does work, man. He does work. Alright, let's find some interesting stuff. That was pretty uneventful. That was a pretty small room. This is just a normal rift. We're not doing greater rifts yet. And I just heard a goblin. I definitely just heard a goblin. Where is he? Okay, that was painful. Got a blue pack here. We should be able to blow these guys up pretty quick, I think. They're not going to stand much of a chance. Look at that! Look at that! So really, the only thing holding me back right now, it's not my damage. I mean, we're doing pretty good damage. Essentially, my strategy is when a lot of stuff is coming at me, like right here, for instance, I just lay down the Hydra, I let him clump around it, I blink in to stun him. We just killed a yellow right there. He's non-existent. It's like he wasn't even there. Now, a lot of that damage is coming from our weapon. We do have the Furnace, amazingly enough, which is increasing our elite pack damage by 44% or so. But I really am enjoying this playstyle of just getting in, getting dirty as a wizard. You don't see very many melee wizards. Fun fact, when I was initially playing through the game, okay, I definitely heard a goblin though. Where's the goblin though? I guess we'll get this conduit because this level isn't gonna go on much longer. Oh, I still hear him somewhere. There he is. Well, that was easy. Plans, Guardian Jeopardy. Initially, when I was playing through the game, I did have my monk that I did a Let's Play of the entire game with, you know, years and years ago. I don't know if you want to go back and watch that. It was a totally different game at the time. And I was a totally different person at the time, too, for I'll just being totally honest. But, you know, I enjoyed the monk. I really enjoyed the monk. But on the side, back when, you know, Torment was the hardest difficulty, and it was like you needed an organized group to even start progressing on it. I was playing a tank wizard, full defensive skills. He would get up in melee range and just focus on crowd controlling everything. And that's how I played through the game with my friends, and it was a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't deal any damage, but I just loved the idea of taking a delicate character and running directly into the enemy. You know what I mean? Directly at our opposition. Just something about that image was always really gratifying, and to take it all the way to Torment was really fun. Now, we didn't get very far in Torment because I don't know how many of you guys remember, Diablo 3, right when it was released, was a extremely difficult game. Because, you know, it was all based on them wanting you to use the auction house, to trade on the auction house and stuff. That's no longer the case. We actually just died there. Our death passive just procced, and I don't have a way of healing myself, so let's try to grab these health globes. Let's stack up the 5 arcane, and then lay down our Hydra in the middle of the hall, and then we can freeze right at the entrance here and kind of set up a trap, which worked just fine. I just love the strategy of this as well. I mean, I'm sure once we increase our gear enough, it's just going to be, you know, face roll, kind of like the monk was. We're just going to kind of walk in and kill everything. But this particular build, I mean, you could set up traps for people. It's really fun, actually. Really fun. I really do think this character has the potential to be the best one I've ever made. Now, the monk was absolutely my best character prior to Season 2. Absolutely. But the fact that we already have a furnace on this guy, and I'm already, like, his build is already focused on AoE, and, like, we have survivability, or we will have survivability, is the plan. I have high hopes for this. Alright, so I'm not going to drop the Hydra until we have the fire buff from my ring, which is coming up next. You can see I'm trying to just use the element corresponding with what my ring is saying. And here we go. The Hydra's out. We're going to kite the boss into the Hydra. And look at him go. Boom. I mean, that easy. That easy. Boss died that quick. And we're on Torment 3 on an almost brand new character. I have such high hopes for this. So, it genuinely is my goal to break Greater Rift 40 this season. Remember, this is only a game I'm playing in my free time. Hence the name of the series. I'm not, like, gonna dedicate hours and hours and hours, like, of just grinding to this. I'm just gonna play it, you know, when my friends are around and they want to play it, or when nothing else is going on. I usually play it in my meeting on Wednesdays, but you're not supposed to know that. And we'll see how well we can do, man. I'm, like, genuinely excited about it. I'm looking forward to this character so much. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy the journey yet again, because this is a totally different playstyle than what the monk was. I mean, we have to chain our abilities together to get the most damage out of it. It's a really, really, really interesting playstyle that I'm enjoying a lot. Enjoying it a lot. There was almost a yellow pack there. Oh, but it died. Alright, so we cleared the rift. This is Torment 3. I'm assuming we can do Torment 4, but unfortunately I don't have any more rift keystones. I'm going to have to get some more. Guys, if you want rift keystones, don't do it the way I am. I'm really weird, and I feel like I need to get everything myself. If you want rift keystones, just go online, like open your game to public and set it to bounties, and just run bounties with other people. Do split bounties. Like, someone go, like, you all go to Act 1, for instance. Here, let me show you. You all go to Act 1, for instance. And instead of everyone going to, for instance, the Fields of Misery, the Fields of Missouri, instead of everyone going here, one person goes here, one person would go to the Hall of Agony, one person would go to the Northern Highlands, and one person would go to the Southern Highlands. And then, boom, there's 4 knocked out right away. And then you just help each other out when you finish up the other ones. Wait a minute, there's supposed to be 5 here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, right, there is 5. Derp, 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 derp. Alright, so that's the build. It's working really well. I like it a lot. Let's go ahead and turn that in. I don't know what that set was. I have completely upgraded the Blacksmith, the Mystic, and the Jewel Crafter, and just recently I finished up all of my bank tabs. These are the set pieces I've gotten so far. We have 2 pieces of the Verse set, which if we get a 3rd, we can make our Archon gain the effect of every rune. I believe this is a new set here, the Leg Guards of Mystery. What it does is when you cast an orb, Arcane Orb, Twister, Magic Missile, or Shock Pulse, it reduces the cooldown of slow time by 2 seconds. So it seems like they really want you to use your slow time, which was an underused ability before, but again, back on my tank wizard, I use it all the time. It was an amazing ability. Each enemy affected by your slow time takes 2,000% weapon damage every second, which is huge, huge. And enemies affected by your slow time take 750 more damage from Arcane Orb, Energy Twister, Magic Missiles, and Shock Pulse abilities. That seems phenomenal. And to go along with that, I actually found this helmet called the Swami. And, oh, no, not that helmet. It was this helmet. Crown of the Primus. Where your slow time gains the effect of every rune, which would obviously combo extremely well with that set. Don't know if we're going to use it or not, but it certainly sounds interesting. Oh, and I wanted to talk about another ring I found. This is the Obsidian Ring of the Zodiac. Look at that bonus. Reduces the remaining cooldown of one of your skills by 1 second when you hit with a resource spending attack. It's interesting that it's only one of your skills. I didn't actually realize that. I thought it was all of your skills. But when you hit with a resource spending attack, that could be amazing for, let's say, a monk or something to reduce their cooldown. But my rolls on that were really weird. It doesn't even have a primary stat, and it doesn't have a socket. So I am going to be melting this. I don't think it's something I want to use. But just something to keep in mind there. And still, with the blood shards that I'm gathering, I am rolling on pants. Oh, we got the Firebird set. Okay. This was the main set that was used last season. I do have 2 pieces of this now. When you die, a meteor falls from the sky and revives you. This effect has a 300-second cooldown. The 4-set bonus, your fire spells cause up to 3 enemies to explode, dealing 400 weapon damage as fire to enemies within 10 yards. And the 6-piece set, dealing fire damage, causes the enemy to take the same amount of damage over 3 seconds, stacking up to 3,000% weapon damage as fire per second. After reaching 3,000 damage per second, the enemy will burn until they die. So essentially with this set, you just stack everything with fire and then walk around. I mean, this was the main set last season. It just didn't seem like it was very exciting. Didn't seem like you were going to be clearing content quickly with it either. But hey, we're starting to build some sets. I'm keeping those in this bottom tab down here. Let's put a face on it, shall we? There we go. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Like I said, I'll continue to be pumping these out whenever I make a little bit of progress. I don't want to just show you the same footage over and over. I want to show you, like, how the build is progressing. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you all for watching. We'll be back soon, and I'll see you all next time.